Hello, good morning. Welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. We have two blended Scotch whiskeys, neither of which have a website listing. This is the Dimple Pinch from Diageo, introduced in 1893. I have the 15-year age proof version, 40% alcohol. Seen photos of the 12-year age. I've seen photos and heard about the 43%, 86 proof version, but that's not what I see around here. Okay, the competitor, JW Dance. I think I made a mistake on the title. Let me check. Yes, I forgot to fix that yesterday. Dance, apostrophe S, yeah. This company was founded in 1836, Dant, as a bourbon, American bourbon company, okay? Then they started to bring in Scotch and rum and everything under their umbrella now. They got bought out by Heaven Hill at some point. I don't know when. I could never really find out. There really is no good information that I know of about that. Okay, and the Heaven Hill website doesn't really. It just be, it's just like, well, we've been around a long time, that kind of thing. So that's all I can tell you. They own it. It's not like they just bottle it like they do with 100 Pipers. They own the brand. Okay, so you might find JW Dant straight bourbon. I know where to get that. JW Dant charcoal perfected blended whiskey, which I have a bottle of. You might get JW Dant bottle and bond and so forth. But this is the Scotch, and there's a big essay on the back, like literally an essay all about Scotch. Okay. You would think there's no way a 3-year-old, right? 3-year-old minimally aged Scotch bottled in Kentucky is going to be able to beat a historic 15-year age, totally Scotland produced Scotch whiskey from Diageo. But these things can be very tricky at times, believe me. But I got to remember wood. When I remember oak, uncharred oak wood, that's the Dance. The Dance has a strong oak note. I mean, not the Dance, the Dimple Pinch. The Dance, well, I remember I liked it. I don't remember much else about it. I remember you could pick up the grain alcohol, grain spirits, grain whiskey. Seemed like it had a little smokiness to it or something like that. What does it say on the background? Just it's just all about Scotch in general, not this one in particular. You might see it around. It's not sold in this town where I live. I don't see it. I saw it at Dormax, $8.99 for the liter. Crazy, right? But I don't recall seeing it anywhere else, but I might have just overlooked it since I had already bought it. Liam Gillespie says, greetings from Scotland. Greetings to you. Does Budweiser taste different to you nowadays as compared to, say, 30 years ago? No, because I never tried it until 1996, so I never had it 30 years ago. I've heard other people say that, but I can't comment to that because it certainly hasn't changed in 26 years. I tried it 26 years ago, 16 years ago, 6 years ago, 6 weeks ago. Tastes the same, to me. The Dant is a little lighter. Do they have caramel color added? Probably, because I doubt it would get that gold, even though it's a light gold. I doubt it would get that dark. Now this one's pretty dark amber. I doubt it would get that dark after 3 years in an uncharred oak barrel. Or well, the barrel probably was charred when it was using bourbon. But you know what I mean? It might have been charred with Heaven Hill bourbon in 1963. And then they went and used it for blended whiskeys, American blended, and then sent it to Scotland, and now they're using it for their Dant, which they get under contract. Now, who does the contract for them? You're never going to find out. We don't know, and it could just be like some big company over there in Scotland that does contract distilling or contract blending. Like, you know what I mean? Well, we get our Speyside from here, our Isla from these guys, and then we get our grain whiskey from Northern British distillery, which makes grain spirits, and then we blend them and age them, you know, and they got a contract. They send some out to Sazerac, they're sending some out to Heaven Hill, some out to Diageo over here, and some to United Spirits in Minnesota, whatever that's called. So it's probably you're not going to find out, and secondly, it probably doesn't really matter who's doing it. It's somebody competent. Let's say it like that. All right. But you know, it's going to be simple. It's a $8.99 a liter bottle. Might have gone up now with the JB inflation, but $8.99 a liter bottle, aged 3 years. It's everything about it is minimal. This smells like cereal grain, light cereal grain. Like I say on the video sometimes, old people cereal. Any bread dough? Well, not really. Just cereal. I got grits in the bag, yellow grits in a bag that I need to be eating. And it's kind of like that, corn grits. It's just kind of like that. All right. But you know, it's not all corn. It's got to be at least around 20% single malt whiskey. That's what these blends are. Just like American blend is about 80% grain spirits, or 75% if you get a little better quality one. And then 25 down to 20% what we would call single malt, but in America, it would be straight. Would be straight bourbon, you know, mostly corn. So the American blended whiskey is going to be almost all corn. And you get a little tiny percentage of rye, perhaps thrown in, blended in, a little tiny percentage of malt whiskey blended in, and maybe even wheat, but the percentage would be very small. Kansas City Southern Railroad. All right. Yeah, over here, I'm getting the honey-topped white bread crust. And so that's making me think it is the Dimple Pinch. Now, the Whiskey Scout told me last night he never had the Dimple Pinch, but he said he'd be curious to try it. BC's Beer Reviews, OBC's Beer Reviews. Who did I? Bud Ice Beer Review yesterday. A tall can of Bud Ice Beer Review, and he gave it an 8.5, I believe. 85B. Well, that's fair. Okay, AAS says, cheers, clinking the mug. Cheers to all of y'all. First time I had Bud Ice was in 1996, and I still have the bottle. Not every bottle, but I have one of the bottles I saved because I said, watch, they're going to change the bottle over the years. And it did. And I said, it'd be an interesting collection. Liam says, in your opinion, what's the best fast food? I mean, it's hard to say because sometimes I go to Church's Chicken, which is still renovating now since the hurricane whipped it apart, you know, ripped it up. So I can't go there right now. Popeyes is good, but their pizzas are small, you know. It's like they must be using little Rhode Island, you know, these little mini chickens. So the flavor's good, but they're too tiny. Now, if you get the Popeyes breakfast here, you get a huge amount of breakfast. Burger King is fine. McDonald's is fine. Rally's fine. Taco Bell's fine. I mean, the best fast food, I don't know, Raising Cane's is okay if you like those chicken fingers and that kind of remoulade type sauce. Chick-fil-A is fine. crispy, crunchy chicken that you get at the gas stations is another chain, Louisiana Crispy Crunchy. That's good, a little expensive. Um, Brothers convenience store has good fried chicken. I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know. They got Jack in the Box in Baton Rouge. I've never been to Wiener Schnitzel with the got nothing to do with Wiener Schnitzel. They just come up with a crazy name, but they sell hot dogs, gourmet hot dogs. Well, fast food gourmet. They got one in Baton Rouge. Most of them are in California. I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer the question. Hard to find Bud Ice in Scotland. I had a 40 Colt 45 for the first time. Not bad. Oh, Colt 45 in Scotland. I wonder if it's a contract brewed over there. Or, I slightly prefer natural ice over Bud Ice, but both are good ice cold. I'm planning to buy a 30 pack of natural ice today. Not, right, not long after I do this. So. Frost Top is good, but that chain is like devolved. Taco Tico's the best for Mexican style fast food. But chances are you won't ever see one of their restaurants because they only have a handful in Kansas and in Louisiana. So, but compared to Taco Bell, they just destroy Taco Bell. They always did, but they never got that corporate buyout like Taco Bell did with Pepsi Cola buying them. Well, that tastes very standard, but I do think I got a little smoke. So I'm thinking they're bringing in a little Isla whiskey, just a little bit, just like the Highland Mist that Sazerac has procured for them. They use single malts from the four corners, the four regions of Scotland, and give you that little smokiness. But the Dimple Pinch has no PD smokiness whatsoever. It's all about the honey. And the wood. Might be moving to Arkansas. Is it easy to find Bud Ice there? You're going to move from Scotland to Arkansas? I guess those two countries are about the same size. Probably about the same population. And they're both hilly. Scotland has a bunch of hills, or some people call them mountains. They're low. And then Arkansas has a lot of the same type thing, mountains. And lowlands in the east. Southeast is low. Northwest is highlands. Scotland, highlands in the northwest. Southeast low. There's a state south of Scotland called England. There's a state south of Arkansas called Louisiana. Scotland's surrounded by water on three sides. Arkansas is surrounded by land on all four sides. Well, they're not totally alike. In Arkansas, they speak English like this, hey, welcome to Arkansas. How you doing over there? Now, and then Scotland is like, oh, welcome to Scotland, how you doing, boy? So, well, those two accents may not be that different. They probably come from the same root. Arkansas, a lot of Scotch, Irish, Protestant. Oh my goodness. All right. Cheers. And in Arkansas, they say howdy, but they use old English words like you say, where can I buy some fuel for this vehicle, some gas? It's down yonder. They'll say down yonder, down yonder. Who says that? Down yonder. All right. Oh, well, this is nice and mellow. Let's get off all that accent. Fun tidbit. Fast food back then was like the tech world of today's Silicon Valley. The creators of fast food restaurants in America have been overlapping history. Yes. We don't have brown recluses in Scotland, though. No, you don't want one either. Glenn Bell of Taco Bell worked down the street from the first McDonald's, right, Downey, California, right? And at least two of his former employees went on to open their own restaurants, Del Taco and the Wiener Schnitzel. Oh, well, we got the Wiener Schnitzel in Baton Rouge on Highland Road, just north of Louisiana State University campus, obviously put there so the students will go eat. And then Del Taco, I've seen those in Georgia, but never to be seen in Louisiana. Glenn Bell, what was he, a Marine veteran from World War II, or what was in Marines? But see, he had that big sellout to Pepsi Cola in 1976. PepsiCo bought it. But Taco Tico never had the buyout, so they slowly faded away. But I remember when those two were like on par, you know. Both kind of, you could tell, poor, underfunded restaurant chains, but not doing terrible, but not exactly Kentucky Fried Chicken level either. And then KFC got bought out by Pepsi, and so did Pizza Hut. That's why they all sell Pepsi drinks only. But they got spun off into Yum brands. This is very nice. Now, I'll say this about J.W. Dant. You might say, oh, my goodness gracious, that is, I bet, a foul product for such a cheap price. But I got to tell you, it's not a foul product at all. Now, it's not like, oh, it's so fabulous, I can't get over it, it's so amazing. It's not anything like that. But on the other hand, it's got a nice mellow balance. Like, everything is mild about it. Now, I'm going to try to describe it. You get the sugar water, there's not too much. You get a touch of smoke, but it's just a touch. A little bit of honey, a little bit of bread dough, and then, of course, 40% alcohol, whiskey flavor. But it's round. Like if it was a beer, you'd call it round. Not too sweet, not too bitter, and you can't really pull out any components. It like works in concert. So if you would like a Scotch whiskey that's very cheap, that works in concert in a round sense, that you can't really say, oh, there's the smoke, there's the wood, there's the this, and there's the that. That'll be fine. What are most people doing with J.W. Dant? Drinking it neat at room temperature? I seriously doubt that. They're putting it on ice at a minimum, and they're probably almost invariably doing cocktails with it. Now, their cocktail might consist of Pepsi Cola with Dant, J.W. Dant's mixed in, watching Scooby-Doo reruns, but still, it's serviceable for that. I doubt they're having a wedding and they're saying, oh, we got the dance, everybody. Well, no, wait, what am I saying? They'll serve the Johnny Walker Gold Label Reserve and the Johnny Walker Blue Label at the beginning of the reception. The Blue Label just in one bottle. After 2 hours of the reception, then they'll bring out the dance, and nobody's going to notice because they well seasoned into the party, if you get my drift. Okay. And if you read the story of Jesus's first miracle in the Bible, it alludes to that. And the guy and the man even makes he was like the reception manager, I think. He was saying, oh no, he wasn't a reception. He was one of the guests, right? And he said, he was commenting about the reception. He was reception manager. He was saying, oh, this is amazing because I'm paraphrasing, I can't directly quote because I can't remember. But when Jesus turned water into wine, because they ran out of wine, the people start drinking the wine, and one of the guests remarked, this is amazing because usually they put the best wine out first, and then at the end, then they put out the cheap stuff. And he said, this is like the best wine we ever had, And so, it was later in the wedding reception when everybody was well seasoned into the party. So you mean even in the days of the Roman Empire, in the early part of this modern AD, Anno Domini era, you know what I'm saying? First millennium, they were still doing that hustle where they were putting out the good stuff and then substituting the cheap stuff later in the party. Yeah, back then and now. Except they couldn't order on the internet. Then they had to make a paper order. You say, no, parchment order. Yeah, parchment order. Well, nobody's going to confuse JW Dance with the Dimple Pinch. Sorry to say. Dimple Pinch, $35, $36 a bottle. JW Dant, $8.99 for a liter. Is it a big difference in quality and price? Yes, yes. Because the Dance is very strong wood notes. Heavy oak, the honey topped white bread, and the white bread dough. So a lot of these things, it's so close, like you say, well, that one's $23, that one's 28, that one's 36, like the Dimple Pinch. This one's 39, that one's 42, this one's 33, you know. And then it's like there's hardly any difference. These Scotch whiskeys be in the high 20s, low 40s to my money. So you'd be like, that's when you start questioning, is it really worth paying more? Because you're really getting, if any kind of benefit from it, you know. But now in this case, it's such a wide gap in price. And then you notice the wide gap in quality. Not to say that Dance is bad, because it's not. Notice that in no point during this video did I talk about that the Dance was harsh or nasty or had off flavors or off aromas. Didn't have any of those. But it was very the flavor is very subdued and dialed back. So if you like products that don't have a whole lot of flavor and aroma, that are just very basic and used for like I say, utilitarian purposes, like somebody told me his grandmother drinks milk with whiskey in it, that's like her cocktail, yeah, that would be perfect for that. But if you want something more elaborate, more developed, more obviously more crafted, then the Dimple Pinch would clearly be the winner here. So it's the winner in every way to look at it. All right. Unless you say, well, oh no, I'm just a penny pincher to the hilt and I cannot pay more unless it's, you know, just like a world-class thing. And okay, so fine. Then if you're in that extreme camp, then the Dance going to work. But if you are like most people and do look at the balance sheet, then the Dant wins clearly. I mean, the Dimple Pinch wins clearly. I keep saying the Dimple Pinch is the winner here today, right now. Now, what's going to happen when I bring in the next one? Grant's. Oh, Grant's got no chance. Triple wood. I don't care if they use 20 woods. It's only 3. I didn't like Grant's really too much as it went. When I first did the review, it was okay, good, not great. Then I started putting it in taste challenges and it was failing, you know, failing. And I really hated it. And I was saying, this is the worst Scotch I have. But somehow I didn't understand it so well or something like that. And then it started to come back a little bit. And I say, okay, I can understand now. It's a little bit better than I thought, but it's still not really that good. I can get a whole handle of it for $18. Talking about a whole big jug bottle for $18, which is not much more than the regular cut rate super deal Scotch, like Winn-Dixie Scotch, CVS Pharmacy Grand Legacy Scotch, you know, or go to get Highland Mist Scotch, which are really, you know, the big plastic bottles, you know, it's like the bottom of the barrel versions. You really don't save much. You know, the Grants doesn't really cost much more than those. And I would say it's not better than those. But we'll deal with that tomorrow, Friday, unless we do the Friday preemptive today. So this is the Dimple Pinch. Got it. I knew that for sure. As soon as I smelled it, I knew. If you look back in the early part of the video, as soon as I took a whiff, I knew, that's the Dance. So no knock against Dance, but it can't compete against a real quality product. So if you got it in your local store, it's got a bunch of medals on here that it never won, showing a lion and a horse holding up a shield with a Well, it's like a meaningless heraldic device, just trying to make it look English. I mean, Scottish. Oh, Lord, I won't say that. They get enraged over there if you confuse Scottish and English. But then I notice a lot of British broadcasts, on YouTube, they'll be like, oh, it's from Nebraska or Kansas or one of those states out there. And I'm like, wow, people in Kansas would not appreciate being called Nebraskans. But I think in Europe, they look at America as like this big thing, and they're all the same or something. I don't know. And so, but don't confuse them over there. Don't say, oh, Belgian, Dutch, it's all the same thing. No, no. All right. Anyway, so dance is fine, but Dimple Pinch is much finer. The Dimple Pinch hasn't exactly run away with the show, but you know what? Really, when you think about it, it's a $36 bottle, and it kind of like performs as a $36 bottle, really. And when you look at in the whole view of it, it kind of like performs as expected, I have to say. So we're going to close it out tomorrow, and then we're going to go to Irish whiskey because I got to do Drumcastle against all the other Irish. Well, I don't have that many Irish whiskey, so that shouldn't take too long. Then we'll pivot back to Scotch to close that out, round it out, I should say. And we're going to do Johnny Walker Double Black against everybody. Be a great challenge series. Then Johnny Walker Gold Label Reserve against everybody. Not so great because I don't find that thing justifies the price, but we'll see. And then we got the Dewar's 15-year age versus everybody. That's going to be a fabulous challenge series. And then Dewar's 18-year age. And that's going to be another one of those little disappointment things because $70 a bottle, but I don't think it lives up to it. But we're going to find out. There's only one way you can find out, and that's doing the blind taste test. Got to do it blind. Have I tried Proper 12? No. I know about it though, and I see it everywhere. Proper 12. I'm planning to buy it soon though. I'm not in a rush to buy it, but I'm planning to buy it. You know what I mean? I'm planning to buy a lot of things that I never buy, but I'm planning to. Anyway, I intend to do it. I really do. I'm not saying that just to humor people or saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna look into it. No, but I really am. All right. Thanks everybody.